Hey guys, welcome to a new weekly reading vlog, and today is Sunday. It's a very gray, not really rainy day, but it's a very gray day. Yesterday was a rainy day, and today's just gray, kind of wet everywhere, and so it's going to be a very YouTube day for me because I have some editing to do. I'm planning on filming a couple of sit-down videos, and yeah, as a whole it's probably going to be a very YouTube filled day, but I still want to get some reading done because it is a weekend. So we need to choose my next read together because I don't know what I want to read next. I finished From Blood and Ashley yesterday, and so now I don't have anything to read, so we're gonna head over to my stack of books that are from my fall reading list, and we're gonna pick that together. So here we have my stack of books that are from my fall reading list, so we need to pick something together to read next. I had already started A Lesson in Vengeance in a previous vlog, but I don't know, I was not really feeling it, so that could be an option, though I'll be honest, I'm kind of in the mood for a mystery, so I think Murder Most and Ladylike could be a good pick, or Good Girl Bad Blood by Holly Jackson. We also have The Mystery of the London Eye, which I guess you can, or the London Eye mystery that you can't really see because it's in the middle, but like weirdly placed. I don't really know. I also want to reread Cemetery Boys by Anne Thomas. It was one of my favorite books of last year and it was perfect for Halloween, so this could be an option. What else? The Inheritance Games and The Strange Case of the Alchemist's Daughter could also be good picks because they have some kind of mystery going on, but they're not necessarily like mystery thrillers per se. Well, maybe this one is, but this one is more like historical fiction fantasy. So we have a bunch of options. I think I'm just gonna taste test a couple of them, maybe do a first sentence challenge or a try a chapter tag, and see which one I prefer. Alright, so here are the ones that I'm most seriously considering. So we have Murder Most and Ladylike by Robin Stevens. This is a middle grade mystery, which I would probably be able to finish quite quickly, which is why I'm kind of leaning towards this one. Then we have The Inheritance Games by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. I have heard so many people talk about this one, and I know it's kind of a Knives Out situation, so I'm guessing this could be kind of good for my mystery mood. Up next I have The Strange Case of the Alchemist's Daughter by Theodore Goss. I've heard so many people talk about this one, and it's kind of like an ode to gothic books because it features like a lot of the daughters from very famous gothic characters such as Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde. I think Sherlock Holmes and Dr. Watson are also involved in this, so this could be a really good pick for that. And I think it has kind of a mystery going on. I've heard that the narrative style of this, like the writing style, is very different, so I'm very curious to try this one out. And then we have Good Girl Bad Blood by Holly Jackson, which is not on my fall reading list, but it would be perfect for this season, and it's a murder mystery situation. I really love the first one. If I'm looking for an audiobook, this one could be really good as well because I did really like the first one. So yeah, I don't really know. So many great picks. I think, like I said, I'm gonna try to maybe look at reviews and maybe read the first chapter or the first sentence of a couple of these or all of them and see which one grabs my attention the most. Hello, happy Monday. So it is 4:15 p.m. and I just finished my work day. Today was one of those days where I had a plan in mind when I started my day and it went completely off course. I just didn't do anything on my to-do list for today because I kept being asked to do things that I wasn't supposed to be doing when I started the week. I got a lot of requests, so I guess I didn't really get to do any other things that were on my to-do list, but that's fine. We have the rest of the week to try to do them. So I didn't really update you guys yesterday, but I did start reading Good Girl Bad Blood by Holly Jackson. I think I showed a little bit of me reading the book. I didn't get super far into the book, to be honest. I'm only on page 36, so didn't read as much as I wanted to because honestly I just was busy filming videos for the most part, but then I also just watched Netflix for most of my evening. I just wasn't really feeling great, so I wanted to watch something instead of reading. I don't know if that makes sense. Also, I was alone in my house, and this is kind of a spooky thriller type of thing. Like, even if it's not spooky per se, when there's like creepy vibes, which this book kind of has, I just don't like reading alone in the dark and everything, so I decided not to read this. Today is another day, so right now I am going to get ready to go to the gym, and then maybe I'll continue reading this because I do have time before I need to go. Oh, one thing that I wanted to say, I did finish a book yesterday. I didn't even talk about this, but I finished reading Bridesmaids by Sydney Smith. This was an audiobook that I was listening to, and I loved it. I gave it a 5 out of 5 stars. It was short and sweet and just exactly what I needed out of this, and I just really liked it. So I'm looking forward to reading more books by this author because I did really like this one, and I have a couple more audiobooks downloaded from that very author, so I'm excited for that. Also, I really liked the narrator of this, and I looked him up, and he has done a lot of audiobooks, especially in the romance genre, so that's interesting. To be honest, I felt a little bit uncomfortable reading the sexy scenes, like the steamy scenes, should I say, during my walk yesterday. But, you know, aside from that, I really had a great time reading this. And I guess it's just because I'm not used to reading like romance audiobooks. I usually read them physically, and that I don't mind, but having those words told to me, I don't know, that just, it was a weird experience. Was not expecting to feel that way, but here we are. Alright, so it is Tuesday and it is quite late in the evening. You may be able to hear my computer in the background. I don't even know if you can see it or not, but I'm exporting a video because I've been doing some editing. I feel like it's being super loud, but that's because my laptop is very old, and editing, exporting, all that jazz is kind of a pain, to be honest, but I'm living through it, so ignore the background sound that you may be able to hear. I wanted to update you guys because yesterday I did manage to read the first 100 pages of Good Girl Bad Blood by Holly Jackson, and I am enjoying it. However, I do have to admit that this book has a slower start than A Good Girl's Guide to Murder did. So in the first book, we start right at the beginning of the case. So we open the book, and like the first page is like the introduction to the case, and right away we are thrown into this mystery. Whereas with this one, it takes 100 pages for us to get to that point. The beginning of the book is kind of a continuation of the first story, meaning that it's kind of Pip's life after the case and how she's trying to get back to normal, because that first case took a lot out of her, and in the second book she's trying to kind of come to terms with being a normal girl again. Then she gets offered this new case, and at first she's kind of hesitant to take it, but then she does. And I think it's also interesting that the format is slightly changing. In the first book, the story was told through case files because Pip was building up this project basically for her school, and so she was interviewing people and everything. Whereas in this one, it is told through a podcast because Pip has turned the project that she did for school into a podcast that is now very popular, and so the second book is mostly about a podcast. And while we do find some of the elements of the first book in terms of the mixed media, it is mostly like it's different types of files that we can find in the book. Once again, I am really enjoying the audiobook. I think they really bring the story to a next level. I think the fact that it is a full cast really keeps me entertained, and I just am really enjoying the reading experience as a whole. The fact that it's a slower start is not a bad thing by any means. I think since we're already familiar with the story and like the characters and everything, and like the world building, I guess, of this universe, even though like it's set in our reality, we're familiar with like the town and the people and everything. So I think because of that, we don't mind a slow start. If the first book had been like that, I don't think I would have been as gripped, but with the sequel I don't mind because, like I said, I like Pip, I like the characters, I like her friends, so I don't mind so much that it is a little bit more of a slower start, and that the beginning is focusing on like the like normal life, and like it's just kind of a slice of life type of story. Right now I'm gonna go take a shower. I may read some more of this before I go to bed because while it is dark outside, it's not even 8 p.m. so I'm gonna go wash my hair, and if I have time I'll try to read maybe a couple more pages of this one. Please focus on me. Okay, we're good. Hey guys, happy Wednesday. So I just got back from the office. I spent my afternoon there today. So I just got back, changed into my workout clothes, and now I'm ready to go to the gym. And I'm very excited to finally be moving my body. I feel like I've been sitting down for hours on end today and I just need to move a little bit. So that's gonna be good. And also I'm going with a friend, so that's always more fun. But anyway, I did want to give you guys a reading update because yesterday I said that I was gonna continue reading Good Girl Bad Blood, and that didn't happen. But I did end up reading something else. I decided to start reading Boyfriend by Serena Bowen. I was watching some romance booktubers and I'm so easily influenced. I was like, you know what? Now I'm in the mood to read a romance. So that's what I did. So Boyfriend follows this college hockey player and he offers his services as an escort. Escort is maybe not the right word, but basically he offers to be someone's date for Thanksgiving because he doesn't want to go home. So our main character Abby takes him up on his offer, and I guess they start a relationship. Starting from there, it builds up from like friends to more than that at some point. But I am really liking it so far. I've read quite a bit of it last night. I read like 65% of it if I remember correctly, and so far it's so funny, lighthearted, very fun. And I kind of wish I had waited to read this until like the Christmas time, or maybe like November even, because yes, it starts off at Thanksgiving, but then it moves on to Christmas and I'm like, oh, I wish I had waited. But then now I'm in January, I think, in the book. So maybe it's like a year-long thing, I have no idea. But anyway, yeah, I'm really having fun with it so far. It's very lighthearted and funny. It reminds me a lot of The Deal by Elle Kennedy. It has similar tropes and even the characters kind of feel similar. So that probably is one of the reasons why I'm liking it so much. Though I'll be honest, like The Deal is a lot more hard-hitting than Boyfriend is. So Boyfriend is like a nice breath of fresh air. I'm really having fun with it. It's not like the most incredible book that I've ever read, but it is a fun one. So if you're looking for a romance so far, I would recommend this one. Also, I've been feeling kind of stuck with my vlogs lately. I don't know if it's because I started like vlogging more regularly, but I feel like I'm always showing the same things. And I started to feel more self-conscious about what I'm filming recently. I don't know. I feel like I always have to switch up my angles and whatever, just to make sure that I keep the content fresh and interesting for you guys, because I get bored of editing the same thing over and over again, and so I feel like you guys probably will get bored too. So anyway, what I wanted to say is if there's anything specific that you'd like to see from me in the vlogs that I'm going to be doing over the course of this fall and maybe even later on in the year, like please leave them in the comments down below. That would really help me out. Look what came in. So I have A Kingdom of Flesh and Fire and The Crown of Gilded Bones by Jennifer L. Armentrout. So this is the sequel and the third book in the From Blood and Ash series. I don't know, I felt like reading the rest of the series. After I finished the first book on Saturday, I was just like, oh, I wish I could read the sequel. So I ordered it. Maybe we'll read it this weekend. They are so pretty. Like, I really love the covers of this series. Like, they're so pretty. Like, obviously my camera cannot even handle it because it's going out of focus, but yeah, they're bricks though. Like, there are both over 600 pages. I think this one is like 650, this one like 620-ish. Hey guys, it is a Thursday and I finished reading Boyfriend by Serena Bowen. I really enjoyed this one. I gave it a 4.5 out of 5 stars. Had a lot of fun with it. It is a little bit predictable, but like in a good way. I just really liked the way everything unfolded. The only thing that kind of bothered me is the way the main character was talking about working in social media. I was just like, there's nothing wrong with working in social media, and that's okay. That's not what you would like to do. Like, I know some people don't love doing that, and that's fine, but I feel like the way she was talking about it, it was kind of like she was downplaying it, or just saying that working in social media is just interns work, whereas like it's a lot more than that. I would know because I work in marketing and I have worked in social media specifically, so yeah. But other than that, a lot of fun. I would totally recommend it. I think it's the beginning of a new series as well, which I'm excited to read the rest of the series. I think it is done by different authors, so like it's not the same author writing all of the books. I'm excited to read more from this world. I just really like the fact that it was set in Vermont for some reason. I felt like it was more relatable because it's closer to me. I don't really know. Anyway, I really had a lot of fun with it and would recommend it if you guys are looking for a fun new adult college romance. This one was a good one. Also, I did continue reading Good Girl Bad Blood by Holly Jackson. Last night, instead of reading Boyfriend, I was like, you know what? I'm in the mood for a physical book. So I ended up reading a little bit of Good Girl Bad Blood. I'm currently on page 132, so I haven't made that much progress with it. Honestly, yesterday I didn't really get to do anything. Like, I came home from the gym and like I helped my mom prep dinner and then went on a walk with my dog, and next thing I knew it was 9 o'clock. So I didn't really get to read as much as I would have wanted. But tonight I'm not going to the gym. It's currently 7 p.m. so it's kind of late in the evening, but I should have more time because I don't have anything else planned, and like my walk is taken and everything, so I have a lot of time ahead of me. I am going to be doing a little bit of YouTube work, but I think after that I'm just going to focus on this one. I am hoping to like maybe finish it by the end of this vlog, so like by Saturday night. I think that's doable. Tomorrow's gonna be Friday, so we're gonna have like the weekend and everything. That should give me more time to read and hopefully do other things as well, but mostly get some reading done. To the Cassidy Blake series. So the first book was City of Ghosts, and now we have Tunnel of Bones, which I'm quite excited about. So now this afternoon I'm going to the office. I was not supposed to go, but one of my colleagues is going there. So today is Saturday and I finally have some time to dedicate to reading today. So we're going to try to make this as like filled with books as we can. I feel like I haven't really been reading as much as I usually do, or as much as I could have this week. I don't know what it is, but this week is kind of a blur in my mind and I don't even remember if I finished any book. Like I remember finishing Boyfriend by Serena Bowen, but I'm like, did I read anything else? I don't even remember. I don't know. This week really went by for me and it's kind of a mess. I don't know. I feel like it's reflective in this vlog. You can see that my life has been kind of in shambles recently, and that's just because I feel like I'm stuck in this time loop where every day is the same and I'm not feeling passionate or creative or anything about anything right now. Like I'm loving creating videos and everything, but because of work I haven't had the time to do that, and I don't know, I feel kind of stuck in the same spot. Like I feel like I'm stuck somewhere. It's happened to me before, like it happens once in a while, but I hate being stuck in a creative rut, and I feel like this is kind of what I'm hitting right now. Anyway, let's talk about books because I did want to give you guys a little reading update. I don't remember where I was at the last time I updated you, but I did continue reading Good Girl Bad Blood by Holly Jackson, and I'm on page 184. So I read a little bit more during my lunch break yesterday, but I didn't manage to read as much of this as I could have this week. And I don't know if it's because the book is not gripping me the way the first book was, or if it's just that I haven't really given this book a fair shot and I haven't really taken the time to sit down and read this book the way that I did with the first book. But I don't know, there's something off with this book for me. I don't know what it is. I feel like it might just be that the case is not as interesting to me as the case in the first book was. We're finally hitting a point that is getting more interesting. Like the last page that I read actually was really creepy, and I'm like, wow, okay, now I could see myself sitting down like binging this. But up till now it's been a struggle for me to like really get captivated by this book. I don't really know why. Like I love the characters and everything, but I feel like the case just doesn't really interest me as much as the case in the first book did. So hopefully I will be able to finish this one today, or at least like make a dent in this. I'm about halfway, so I have a feeling that if I really took the time to sit down, I could finish this book today. I think I have about 4 hours left of the audiobook or something like that, so I think I could finish it. I just really need to give myself some time to actually read this. So this is what we're going to be doing today. Alright, so it is now much later, but I did want to give you guys a reading update because I did finish reading Good Girl, Bad Blood by Holly Jackson. Now, I found this book to be somewhat disappointing compared to the first book. I loved the first book. I gave that one a 5 out of 5 stars. I guess I had really high expectations diving into this one, and unfortunately I was let down somewhat by it. I think I'm going to give it a 3.5 out of 5 stars. I haven't entirely settled on the rating yet. I'm hesitating between a 3, a 3.5, or a 4. I'm not sure. That's why I'm kind of settling on a 3.5 for now, because I feel like it's in the middle. But I don't know. Something was missing with this book. I feel like the first book had such a great plot. It had great characters. It had everything. Like the recipe for the perfect book. The first book had that. This sequel, I don't know. I feel like we had the basis of the first book, meaning we had the same characters. We had the same like atmosphere, the same world and everything. But the execution of the mystery left somewhat to be desired. I think the first mystery was so well structured that diving into this one, it just felt like a huge mess. I think we were kind of running around in circles at one point. I just felt like we were not uncovering new information, or at least anything useful to the main plot. And I feel like this one had a lot of subplots as well, whereas the first one, I think it was so well crafted that I was expecting the sequel to be like similar, but it was very different. And I think I mentioned it as I was reading along, but I just don't think this mystery gripped me as much as the first one did. I liked it, but I think as far as like if we have to compare it to the first book, it was a letdown. Now the audiobook did a still very amazing job at like narrating the story. I just think the audiobook really adds something to this reading experience. Personally, I really enjoy them. They're full cast, and I think like they add sound effects and everything that just makes everything feel more real. And I've grown to really love the narrator, especially the one that does Pip. I think she has really nailed the narrating aspect of this book. So overall, like the audiobook I would absolutely recommend, but I think just this book wasn't as great as the first one, unfortunately. So as it is now quite late, I think I'm just gonna wrap up the vlog here. So thank you guys so much for watching. I feel like this one is kind of a mess. I haven't like looked at the footage that I have gathered throughout the week, but I felt like a mess, and I think this vlog probably reflects that. Hopefully you guys still enjoyed it, and I guess that's it, and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye!